Okay, we're ready. All set? Okay, welcome to the July 8th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners. Can we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Okay. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, and the governor's executive orders imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, although a quorum of the members of the Dudley Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners will be physically present for this meeting, no in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. The meeting will be live broadcast on Dudley Cable Access Television, Channel 192, and members of the public can also access the meeting online via YouTube. In the event of an unanticipated interruption in the broadcast, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, and other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Members of the public who wish to appear before the board, this commission, must make an appointment to appear on an upcoming agenda by contacting Jennifer Canoyer at 508-949-8007 or by emailing, it says here selectmen@dudleymass.gov, but I don't have the correct.
Watersewer@dudleyma.gov.
Watersewer@dudleyma.gov. Placement on the agenda is not guaranteed, however, and persons requesting to appear before the commission should not attend the meeting in person unless and until the appointment has been confirmed by this commission. Members with matters appearing on a meeting agenda may request that they attend via virtual means, such as conference call, rather than via in-person attendance. Such requests should be directed to Jennifer Canoyer at 508-949-8007 or by emailing watersewer@dudleyma.gov. No more than 72 hours, not counting Saturdays, Sundays, or legal holidays, in advance so that appropriate arrangements can be made. However, persons or representatives with matters appearing on the meeting's notice of an agenda who wish to be physically present at the meeting must observe the following requirements. 1. Only 10 people, including the board, commission, members, and staff, will be permitted in the meeting room at one time. Satellite rooms will be available for overflow, and the meeting will be broadcast in real time in those satellite rooms. Total capacity in each room will be limited to 10 persons. Persons who wish to participate in any particular matter on the meeting agenda will be asked to wait in a satellite room until that agenda item is reached, at which point attendees will be rotated between the main meeting room and the satellite rooms as appropriate. Again, the total number of persons in any room, including the main meeting room, shall be limited to 10 people at any one time. 3. Social distancing must be maintained in both the main meeting room and the satellite rooms. Face masks or coverings will be required in attendance in accordance with Governor Baker's May 1st, 2020 COVID-19 Order Number 31. Order requiring face coverings in public places where social distancing is not possible. A copy of that order can be found at www.mass.gov/doc/May 1, 2020 masks and face coverings/download. Failure to comply with these requirements may lead to an attendee's removal from the meeting. There. Is this the first meeting where that had to be read?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so first order of business then on the agenda is reorganization. Every year, first of all, welcome to Bill Conley, our newly elected member of the commission. He's attended one
Zoom meeting.
one Zoom meeting and the town meeting, and this is his first time. Some of us have seen him on a face-to-face basis. So welcome aboard. You have anything you want to say?
Nope, that's good.
Okay. All right. So reorganization. At this point, what are folks' wishes?
Well, Scott, I'll say, you've done a good job. The last year, you did a very good job, and we have a million things going on now, which I know you're putting a ton of time in as far as meeting with George, Jen, the town administrator. So I think I'll make a motion to see if Scott would accept the position of chairman for another year while we're going through all these financial matters and all the work that we're hoping to do. So that'd be my motion for Scott to be chairman once again.
A second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any other discussion?
How do you feel?
I was going to, I saw you this morning, but I was going to mention it, going to say that if it came to it, that suggest that be the case, that I'm willing to do it. Like you said, there's been a lot of meetings. Hopefully many of them can still be done remotely like they've been done where possible, because it saves a lot of commute time to get back and forth from work. But yeah, just for the sake of continuity. And for some of these projects to keep them going, at least for this next year. It seems like everything should be in a pretty good place by a year from now, but then again, who knows what new pestilence we'll have to get in the way. But yeah, I'll accept it. So a motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Vice Chair?
I'll make a motion to nominate Jay Small.
Okay, what's that? Okay, and a second by Bob, by Bill. Any other discussion? Are you willing to?
Yeah, I'll be happy to serve, sure.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Anything further? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No, okay. And I think we need to elect a clerk, right? Mm-hmm. Clerk, is that part of the, yeah. Okay, so clerk?
I make a motion, Bill Connolly for clerk, seeing how you're in town. I know, Bob, you're out of town a lot, so if we ever needed anything, we have a couple local guys to fill in behind the chairman. So I'll make a motion for Mr. Connolly, Bill Connolly, to be clerk.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. You okay with that?
Okay.
Right. All right, then, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Nope. My department's busy tonight. Okay, with that, I hope, and I will say that one thing that I think I hope to do better this year is to make sure I get information out. I think that a lot of stuff happened, a lot of things happened where I had all the information, I sat through meetings and all that, but I don't know how much of that information actually got transferred around. Of course, with all the COVID restrictions, it made it a little more difficult, but I'm gonna have to get my typing fingers better and get that stuff out to folks, so keep people informed on what's going on. Okay, minutes. We've got 3 sets of minutes, June 1st, June 3rd, and June 17th. The June 1st meeting, we did not have a quorum. It was just Jay and myself that were there. I've read through them, and it is a good representation of what was discussed there. So, in that case, I'll make a motion.
Okay,
You don't, you would normally do that, but
Just,
I'll make a motion to accept the meetings of June 1st,
Yeah, okay.
2020.
And I'll second it. We were both there, so.
Okay,
That was a brief meeting.
okay. That is, well, that only lasted a little over half an hour. Okay, well, a little about an hour. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, those are good. We got June 3rd and June 17th.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes as written from June 3rd.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that's unanimous. And June 17th.
Make a motion to accept the June 17 meeting minutes as written.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. That was a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That's unanimous. Okay, on the agenda, the next item, updates from Ty and Bond. They could not make it here tonight because they had a meeting, another obligation tonight. But they have been going full bore with everything that's been going on. I did speak with Jeff Faulkner from Ty and Bond Monday, and he would like to set up a meeting for sometime tomorrow. So if we, before we leave tonight, if folks could just let Jen know what nights are good or not good next week. I know they can't meet on Thursday next week to go over some of the things, and I've got a list of what they want to go over. They want to talk about a water system asset management study. They found some eligible grants, probably a 60-40 kind of a thing. This is something you had talked to them about a number of months back. So they wanted to talk about that. They wanted to talk about PFAS grants through DEP. Actually for the $200,000 that was just approved at town meeting. That was just, we just got an email this morning. I read that over coffee this morning, light reading. It's preliminary. I was working with George to work that. We may be able to get a grant to cover all or part of that $200,000 development process. But they want to talk about that, and they want to present the final plans for the blending project and construction and what they've got so far on the next part of it. So that's what they want to talk about. So if if everybody could touch bases with Jen about what nights are best, so that we can set up a meeting next week. That was everything, yeah, just not Thursday. Okay, so that's what they had. Yeah, they're that grant process for the PFAS. Actually, we'll hear some about that next week. But that grant deadline is Friday.
Oh, geez.
So they're working the grant application. We saw copies of it this morning to get that finalized.
Yeah, I have that somewhere in my report. I'll give you a quick update.
Okay, you can give us an update on that with your report. But that could very well, that will be done one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
By Friday, and then we're just waiting for the state to say yes or no. But that'll certainly help. All right, and then Water Sewer Superintendent's report. Copy of it was sent out to everyone via email earlier in the week. And George.
Sorry, I got to talk through this toilet paper, but I'll do the best I can. I'm kind of fogging up here. Right now, we've got our temporary hire working. We've got these COVID precautions we're still maintaining. Standardly, right now, it's 2 people on the water department still working, and 2 we just got back from the sewer. We're trying to keep everybody spaced out as best we can, single on trucks as best we can. Unfortunately, when you're working in holes or things in close quarters, that becomes a little bit difficult. But everybody seems to be managing. We're doing the best we can with that. I also want to make sure that everybody understands only one operator on the water department is allowed to do any sewer work at all, and that's me. I'm the only one that does any sewer work on the water side. I've got to maintain my operator status right now. I can't have any more incidents that happened way back where the quarantine went on. So we're keeping one away, and any assistance the sewer department needs, I provide them, or if Jesse's available to help them something minor, he goes and helps them. We're trying to get the town administrator to get back with the SIU and get those job titles done. Those need to get done because of the COVID. It's been delayed. So we're going to be pushing that. I've already talked to him about that, so I hope we can get something going there. The reports, all CCRs and statisticals went out. If they're late, they're late. I mean, we have barely enough time to do what we need to do. So we're doing. I'm really happy that the guys are all stepping forward to do the best they can to get things done and help out. Otherwise, we'd be in tough shape right now. There's just too much going on. The Station 1 drilling of the 3 wells commenced for the casings that went in, and they've gone down 31 feet, and 35 feet, which is pretty good. We're standing with the tubulars, we were at 20, 25 feet. So we're expecting some good gallons per minute to come out of those wells. We're gonna be really maybe even looking at trying to increase our yield out of that station if and when that time comes. But we'll take one step at a time right now. Just get everything going, and that station is moving along pretty quickly right now. We expect, like I said, hopefully to get some results of usage out of that come spring of 2021, maybe into the summer, depending on DEP permitting, what have you. So we're kind of looking forward to that. That's going to be an essential, especially for the next summer. The transmission, I call it a transition main, whatever you want to call it. I met with Jeff Faulkner today, matter of fact, on it. We went into discussions on more about that. The new plan that we're looking at right now, because the driller came down to take a look at the project, and direct drilling is something that we'll be utilizing, and I'm a little familiar with it, but I've never seen it done, but I'm sure I'll get a good look at it when they do it. We've decided to plan a route to tie the main in from the end of the driveway at Station 3. And this is preliminary, it may change again. Initially we had it to come out of Station 3's driveway, go across the lawn, and then head over at a parallel towards Bernie's gas station, cutting under Route 12, and then heading down on the sidewalks, on the curbside, all the way to the front of Station 6's driveway, and move in that way. The driller looked at it, and he's pretty confident that he'd like to try us going across Route 12, right at Station 3's driveway, digging across the field at Station 2, coming to Station 2, the old well number 2. Then we'd be digging a big basin there for him to do his direct drill underneath the whole swamp and send the pipe across. We're looking at a 10-inch pipe going to that point, and then a 12-inch going underneath where they've got that special flex pipe, whatever they got that they use to drill under there, be about a 12-inch to go across the Station 6's side of Station 6, and then come into the main area there, connect the piping in there, and then send a 10-inch out to the street, to the 10-inch out in front of the station in the street, tie in there, and delete the discharge further up the road. The main reduces at that point further up the road. So right now, we're looking at that possibility. It looks like it might be a little less expensive to do it that way, just with one direct drill across. The other parts will be done by the water department and assistance from another contractor to assist us to do that. We'll try to get it wiped out as fast as possible. That's the best way right now to do it. There's still a little more tweaks to doing it. I'm going to meet with him again next week to do some final plans on it, but I seem to be leaning in that direction. It seems
That's
like
a shorter path, isn't it?
it's a shorter path from the station through the street, but this path is easier. There's no utilities to worry about, and the direct drill across the pond is the key factor.
Across the
Yeah,
road.
that's
there.
where, if he can make a shot and get it through, and it's very deep, you're talking probably 10 feet maybe, that goes down into the ground. He get a straight shot through with no obstructions and not get stopped, then we're golden, and that's the way to go. Like I said, I think that's what we're gonna end up doing right now. But I'll give more information as things become.
George, just a question on that drilling. Once they get their openings and start the work to get down at that grade, what kind of material are they talking? A ductile iron line or some type of one-piece plastic?
It's like it's heavy, it's something like ductile iron, but it's flex. It's flex, but it's very thick.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
As
and
he's
it-
drilling, he would like off a coil,
Yeah.
lay that line to go underneath the swamp, then do a transition on both ends to ductile iron probably.
I believe it's like even a pull type thing where they pull.
One piece.
Yeah, pull in and it moves and bends a little
And
bit
it's
as it goes on.
designed for high-pressure water.
Yes, exactly. And I also had explained to him and since I'm new to the direct drilling type thing, because I've never seen it done, but I also explained to him, if there's any issue somewhere down the line where we develop a leak under the swamp,
Yeah.
I'm in a mess because my station has to shut down. Or, what can I do for a backup? Can I keep the line tied into West Main, but just have some gates to keep it shut down? In emergency, if that line, something happens, then I at least can open that other line up and feed off, and then I'd get into public notice orders and things like that, but it would buy me time to fix whatever problem. But he said that's a good thinking possibility too, but right now, we're just sticking with what the plan will be. We're not 100% sure, but we're about 90% sure.
So like I said, be a one-piece, some type of,
Yeah.
It's usually a plastic that they butt fuse,
okay, just like the gas
Yeah.
just like the gas line work,
butt fuse it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a plastic weld.
and keep pulling it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's very durable, it's very,
Yeah,
it's
it's
thick
good.
lined, it's almost like a 12-inch size pipe where,
Time
just
done,
with the
it's-
ID on it.
One piece.
Yep. So that's the latest as far as that goes. So we're trying to move that along, and that's hopefully gonna start commencing the end of August and into September. Now, just to keep in mind, even if, I'd like to try to move this more into October for reasons that, once these stations blend together, they have to run together. And that's gonna be a new little thing for us to adjust, to see how we can maintain our redundancy with the water to the tanks and things. I think we should be okay as long as our gallons per minute are matching close with the two running together versus what we had both running or at times. That's gonna be an important thing. But once I get into October, I'm gonna have a little breathing room of cooler water, things like that, which will help me a little bit. And then Station 1 hopefully will be online before we get into the heavy heat season again next year. So cross my fingers on that. We've got a pallet of new water meters that we get special pricing for. We buy them in bulk. That's already been delivered. The guys are gonna go out hot and heavy, all water sewer guys, sometime after the meter reading season is over and all the repairs have been done and things like that. And that coincides with that too, because we get repairs, work orders, and a lot of them backed up right now. We go out and we replace both the meter and the base itself. And I gotta tell you, it's really showing we're getting the benefits back of what's been going on. A lot of meters have stopped, slowed down. We're losing a lot of revenue on that. Now we're starting to generate some, pick some up. So the system's working very well with doing that. So we're gonna try to see if we can put as much possible in. Even on the weekend, Saturday, we're gonna have got a couple guys come in and bang out, say 20 or so, whatever they can do, for those people that can't give us access to their houses during the week. So that's been a good thing right there. The August timeframe, again, sometime beginning of August, the stations are gonna, both 6 and 3 are going to have a upgrade of some chemical feed piping, lines, valves, a couple new day tanks. The reason I'm past my 20-year mark for as far as the DEP in regards to those components, they need to be replaced. The old stainless steel valves that I put in 15 years ago to help us move one pump to another if we have to, whatever. That system is causing problems now because things are breaking down, there's leaks. So we're gonna make it very safe, very easy. We're gonna put everything on like a main board, mounted to the wall, put all the units together so we can move valves, do things right there. Both stations are gonna have it, and the reason why is because I don't know where our treatment facility will end up being done in the next 3 years, 4 years, no years. I need this stuff done, and it can coincide with whatever happens down in the future. So it's a matter of safety for everybody involved, and to operate the chemical feed pumps and the tanks, have everything up to at least the less than the 20-year mark. So everything's going to be new, and I'll keep the big tanks as they are right now till I get it, till we go further down the line, see where we're going to end up with the treatment plant, and then we'll work with that as that comes. We've having some truck issues, and I already talked to the town administrator. Our truck a new truck's going on the town warrant for this coming October. I didn't catch this because I would have kind of been a little bit upset more with it. But 2 of our trucks right now, one is going out to get, the box truck is going out for a lot of flooring work to be done on the inside. It's deteriorated. It has to be actually pulled up and sandblasted, repainted, recoated. And that truck has done just about everything we need it to do and more. It needs to have some work and some attention done, so that'll be going out next week for about a week. So we're going to be sweating it a little bit if we have anything major, but we'll try to make sure we're prepared. The other problem truck is my truck, the one I usually drive. That's becoming a rust problem. I've kept it up engine-wise and that, but I'm sending that out another couple weeks to a month to have some rust work done on it, and hopefully I can get another year, 2 years out of it. It's running good, but when you get into those, they end up with a major problem with panels starting to deteriorate and fall off, and I'm not going to have that. I want it brought back in condition. So hopefully in the fall we'll have the new truck in so we can utilize that.
Was there a reason that the truck didn't get put forward?
Yeah, because the town financial situation, they stopped everybody's articles as far as spending articles of trucks, but they didn't realize we're not affected by
So
that.
we're an enterprise fund. And
Yeah, I already talked to town minister about it. He realized that. He says yours is going to be on, so you'll be all set.
I believe we already approved.
That's correct. Everything's done. I've already got the bids out. Everything the quotes came back. We already approved all it. It's been spec'd out, ready to go. I just have to contact the place.
Are they going to hold the price?
Yeah, I believe so. He said he would hold it for, because he knows that COVID.
Usually only good for
30
30
days,
to
60 days.
days.
Yeah. No, he's pretty good. I work closely with them over here.
Nope.
So that's the story with that. As Scott was saying, the application for the $200,000 PFAS grant, which Jeff and I talked about today, I gave him the go, that we're going to be processing that and going for that, hot and heavy. Along with the water assessment, we've already looked a little bit, got the paperwork, went through with that. Whatever grants are out there, we're going to try to grab. We've been doing very good so far, and Dudley's kind of been put on a sort of maybe a pedestal where they're going to look more at what we have going here, and that when we're applying for something, we may get some treatment as far as getting it. So we get some pretty good shots at that, and we need it too, because we have to develop this treatment center, whatever it's going to be. Have to put into action. I don't know. Testing will have to be done first before we even worry about that, but if it's a year, 2 years, or 3 years, and there's grants available, at least we'll be there applying for them. SRF grants, there will be more coming down the pike. So we've got all our feelers out there ready to go, and these are already, we're already starting to process these for Friday. I've already sent a letter out so that we can put ourselves ahead for the applications that we're in the running. So he'll dwell more on that next week whenever we have our meeting, but we're definitely doing that. I just want to thank everybody, all you guys, for your support. The town meeting articles passed. It was a little rocky there, but I just want to stress the situation we're in, that, you know, we needed to have these articles passed, not so much for the funding, but for the articles and the SRF loan securement. That's vital. We'd be sunk if we didn't. So thanks to everybody who supported us. A lot of people worked hard trying to get these grants secured and all this work done, and hopefully we'll be on our way now. It's progressing.
Before we leave the water
Yep.
part of the thing, I noticed in the last couple of weeks signed an awful lot of vouchers for
Parts?
the Kubota zero turn. And as I have been able to glean, we purchased that in 2004.
Correct. That is a zero-turn diesel mower. It has been a absolute gem to the amount of mowing that we do. Not only do we mow all the sewer stuff, we move some of the all the water facilities, but we mow some of the sewer to help them out too when they're having a problem. That does about 14 acres of mowing on a per week basis. I looked at a replacement cost for that, and it was way up in the $15,000 to $20,000 range, and I'm not about to spend it on a machine that's even less durable than the one I have. Things are going to break on it. I just replaced the whole seat structure, the rim, thing like that. It's back in operation again now. The problem is parts. I have to wait a long time to get parts. When things are breaking, they're breaking now, like some of our trucks and stuff. Things are coming to fruition for breakage.
I know you're fond of you get attached to your equipment.
Yeah, and I think
At some point we may be looking at it seems to me that we're looking at a point where we're spending an awful lot on repairs of something that we probably should look into replacing.
Yeah, I think when the time is right, after I get through this next year or so, we'll probably address that situation.
On that Kubota, I looked at it one day down there when it was a pot. I think there was 16,000 hours on the engine clock.
Yep.
That gives you an idea. 16,000 hours for any type of machine is a long period. I don't think a fellow would keep his John Deere backhoe for 16,000 hours before they traded it in.
That machine is the only one that can take care of the Bates Hill for the steep angle that it's at. I can't even do that with the John Deere, the green one we have that we're using right now. That won't negotiate that. It slips right off the hill. So and I'll be doing the hill tomorrow
Probably
because
like within another year or two, you better start thinking, well, you know, 'cause we're gonna start, if you have a major expense on it, then you're gonna have to say, is it worth spending?
Yeah, I bring it to the board at that point and say, hey, you know, this is where we're at. I mean, anything with a couple $100 here and there.
Yeah.
You know, these are just items that
Okay,
are,
just seeing the vouchers
Yeah,
coming through,
yeah.
and those expenses are starting to.
yeah.
We're getting to the point where is it worth repairing? Like I said, I know you get attached to your equipment.
It's just, if it wasn't for the fact for the diesel motor itself being in good shape and working, and I haven't really had any trouble with that part of it. I mean, the mowing deck, things like that, bearings, they go. I mean, it's just the amount of work it's doing. But like I said, in a year, maybe two, if it really starts getting to be a problem, definitely we're gonna look at it. I'll see what I can get for a deal on a new one. And it would be the same type of mower, that diesel type. It's you can't beat it. It's a really good thing. So anyway, so that's water, unless you have any other questions on the water side. Sewer side, I'm happy to announce that both Timmy and Mike are back. However, Timmy may be out again. He has another issue that arose when he was working, so as I listed on the page here. So we're waiting to see the doctor's report on that as far as his appointment, which is coming up. So keep the board apprised of that. I&I is gone. The phase 3 of it is completed. They did the cammering. We're happy to report that it isn't all as bad as we thought. There's going to be some pipelining done, but no major structural type of repairs as of right now.
That's good.
So that's good. But that's something next year when they get into the main brunt of things. But from the preliminary analysis we got, it's not too bad. But there are some areas that need attention for sure. So we'll be working on that. By the way, just a side note with that, and I didn't put it in the report, but I'm still working with the block grant, Brandon Road Jericho block grant, the program for that. They're going to go into a examination phase coming up probably around July, late July and August, where we're going to start popping manholes, checking the sewer mains on the Jericho area. I'm really trying to push the Oxford Ave area hot and heavy to increase the main size up over there, and to also maybe look at extending out the 12-inch just to past the boys club a little bit, so if any future buildup over there can be adapted to pretty easily.
I noticed that there've been a resident over in the number streets asked me about markings. They're out there marking. There's some folks marking laterals and things like that, so I'm
Yes.
assuming that that's part of that.
Yeah, our sewer department and even the water will be helping them with some of these manholes to pop them and check things out as they go. It's to the best of our ability.
I talked to one of the guys marking. He said he was hired by Ty and Bond to survey.
Yeah.
So then they don't know why they're doing it. They're just doing what they're told. But it's probably part of that.
The new sewer pump we installed at Patterson Ave after about a month of trying to deal with it because it was failing and we were having issues almost every other day. I put a new one in. We put a new one in there and it's working absolutely fine. It's cutting back our electricity and our water usage. So it's similar to Conan Ave. So both those stations now should be in pretty good shape, running good. So that's a good thing because that's an old style pot system, which in order to change that, we're talking some big bucks. You'd have to put a submersible pump in there and it would really be a major expense. So by putting this new pump in, had all the valves done, check valves, worked in there for many days, getting everything else cleaned up and replaced in valves and piping, and it was running 20 seconds and that was about it, and it shut off.
I was talking to Timmy this morning, and
Yeah.
he said that we're using about a third of the water,
Correct. So that's a
and
good
it's not
thing.
running nearly as long.
Yep.
So that'll be good on the electric bills and water
Yeah,
bills.
electric and water, both, yep. We just put the new Kohler generator in Lakeview Ave. It's mounted, it's tied in electrical wise. We're waiting on National Grid to come out and tie it in gas wise. So that's in the process right there. They have to do it. I've already contacted them. It's already on the plan to do it. When or not, I can't say for sure. Maybe the next week or two, they should be able to come out and do it. So that's going to be a wonderful thing finally to not have to haul generator to try to power. That's just going to be instant on.
That I guess the only thing we'll have to watch on that. I stopped down there today too, on my way out to Worcester. They make sure how loud that thing is going to be when it's running. I mean, when it runs because it has to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those things. It's an emergency. If you know, I mean, it's not going to be forever,
It
but
just may be something that we might have to deal with.
yeah, we'll deal with it. We have to deal with it. It's just
You'd be upfront with the neighbors.
Yeah, it is what it is. If they want sewer to be disposed of, it's going to have to go.
I just want to be upfront with the neighbors right up front, so that
Yeah.
if it does end up being loud, then we may have to look at sound abatement.
I also received a check from David Haynes from Truman Ave subdivision going up. He graciously donated us a check for $7,500 to the generator to go in over at Lyons Road, which I've already begun to get quotes for and specs for. And that's probably going to run in the range of $17,000 for that. So I think that's an absolute great thing that he did. I expressed to him the concern, only the fact that we had another 18 houses going in over there, and any loss of power in that area is going to really be a problem at Lyons, considering the new houses going in. He agreed that, you know, anything he could do and help, and I suggested that was our main problem. It was emergency power, getting it in time. It takes a while to get the generators out, the trailers out, haul it over there, and what have you.
I signed a thank you note for him this morning.
Yeah, I had to send one out there, yeah. So I appreciate that from him. It was very nice. Your favorite of all time, Eisenhower Drive. I call it phase one, is to put in the riser top for the hatch coming up next week or the week after. Water meter reading's gonna be a problem, that might have to delay it a little bit, but we've had, all these issues have been delayed due to COVID, so I'm trying to bring them back all as fast as I possibly can, but that one is, well, one that, we've already set in place, just the time to do it. So that's gonna be, putting the new hatch top on, getting it all, set, and then, the next part of it will be phase 2, I call it, is meeting with the developer again, to explain the situation about putting rails in and to check the pumps in there. I think one of the pumps is beginning to have a problem or has a problem. We took a preliminary view of it, but we couldn't get really deep into it. But we're on borrowed time there, so I wanna make sure that everything is gonna be up to snuff as far as those pumps go. If they have to replace one, we'll replace it. Rebuild it, but we're gonna make sure they're in good shape, along with any electrical issue and alarming that has to be done. That's by contract, that was in the architectural plan. He has the architectural plan, and we noticed that all these were in on it, including the rail system, the electrical, the alarming. There were some steps involved. I don't care about the steps so much. So we've got everything that we need on the plan that was supposed to be approved, or what have you. So I shouldn't have an issue with that. The bond money is available for that. That's what the meetings are there for, to secure parts of that bond money. That's his right as a developer, to take each step at a time with us to do it. So we're working strongly on that. Hopefully we can get that going again very soon. Number 7, this is something that we came up with. I was going to look at putting a Morton building down at the, like I think I brought this up before, but I was looking at putting a Morton building up at the sewer department. I can't keep having vehicles staying outside all winter long, all through the season, just for deterioration and freezing up of the equipment on the trucks when it's really cold and snowy. But we looked at the station, went with Mike and Tim, and we checked that whole garage setup down there, which is very wide, but it's very, to the back wall is only about 20 feet or so. So we looked at taking the one side of it and putting a single straight door in, blowing the wall out, putting the door in, and now we can park the trucks this way and a couple generators parallel this way. And we can now we'll now be able to get the vehicles in under cover, and even the Jetta, to keep it, and then down the line, as I say in my report, the gas line, looking to have a gas line put from the street into the sewer station, and get rid of that old gas-fired that old oil-fired furnace, which is about 100 years old. It's starting to fail. Put a gas system in there, and then run a stub to the garage and put a gas heater in there too. So the Jetta can stay warm, everything can stay warm in there, so even if they use it and it's cold, they don't have to drain all the fluids out of it, and the antifreeze, and put antifreeze, they'll have it available to do that. So that's coming down the part too. I'm talking to the town administrator about giving us an easement right through the rail trail to run the gas line, instead of through the front driveway and tear up all the driveway into the front of the building, run it through the rail trail and then bang her right into the station that way. So you're only going about 20 feet into the driveway. So he said anything I need there, which I appreciate, he'll support. So that's what we're working there too. Meter reading, same thing with the water department crew. Sewer department will be doing all the upcoming water meeting reading, and then repairs, and then installations of the new bases and meters. Side note, number 10, thank the fire department. They did donate it. They donated us a skid load pump and tank, 250-gallon tank with a pump motor, booster reel, hose connections. We've already got it working, and that's going to save on dragging the Jetta out to do any blasting of water into any of the wet wells or things like that. We're also going to start using it at the booster station and wash that all out, because there's no water source nearby. It's going to become a nice little tool. We got it on a trailer, and we can just haul it around, and we could tie into a hydrant or whatever and keep unlimited water, or just take it on by itself and do what we have to do any kind of washing of anything.
Didn't you build that originally?
No, it came.
They bought the skid
We
load,
bought the
but
skid and the whole tank and thing, but we took it and we mounted it on a trailer, and I made we made a little bit of modification so we could take it right off from
you
there.
didn't do the plumbing on that?
No, we keep it pretty much as it is.
I thought you did,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's my report.
Okay, any questions on the report? Okay, public comments? Seeing none. Board comments. Anybody? Bob?
Yes, one thing. George, you mentioned, Scott, a meeting for next week.
Yes.
While we're all here, maybe we could
Yeah, we-
save the grief from Jen trying to chase everybody down.
Okay, yep.
We can't do it Thursday night.
Yeah, they can't do it Thursday.
Would it be Wednesday, would be the best, like this, like a regular,
That's what I was thinking. We'll
And
always
we,
meet
of
on
course, any meetings that are held in the building have to be held in this room,
Yeah, is-
in this setup.
Should be clear,
So we
because
just have to make sure that it's gonna start making things,
it should be clear,
funky.
though.
okay.
Conservation's not meeting, I know that, and planning's meeting tonight, so those are the Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah, next Wednesday? Next Wednesday's tax day. Postponed from April 15th to July 15th. So if you haven't gotten your taxes in, you got one more week.
where you,
Come to arrest you.
Yeah, well, in any
30?
case, does that next Wednesday work all right?
6:30?
6:30?
Wednesday's fine with me then, too. You'll send an email out, Jen, that, reminder for
And
everyone?
I'll
There, that
notify,
would, took care of that. Thank you for
Yeah,
bringing that back up. That way we don't have
This way you
to
don't
I'll
have to
reach out to
play-
Jeff Fox,
play
too.
tag, phone tag.
let Tom know.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Bill, did you? I still want to call you Bob. Bob's sitting over there.
well, the colonel, he's the colonel.
You've got more hair and better looking, so.
I don't have,
And, okay, no comments? Jen, George,
I do have one question.
go ahead.
One of the things that didn't seem very clear in the reports that I read was, how are we gonna progress to increase the usage of the water and sewage within the town? I mean, to me, that looks
Expansion?
like that's the only way we're gonna offset these future costs, is to expand our capability, which, I mean, you're gonna rob for your Peter to pay Paul, because it's gonna cost you to do it.
One of the things that's becoming very apparent, our meters, all the meters we have in homes and businesses, they're all, what, 15, 18 years old?
Older than that,
20 years.
25.
Some of them, they're very old, and
Since I
Brian
came
showed me on Monday morning, he took a brand-new meter and blew from about this far away, blew into the pipe, and you could hear it spin. Then he took an old one that he had pulled out of this one and did the same thing, and nothing happened. So, with this last couple of months, with all of that's gone on, Nichols College has been closed, just about every business in town was closed for at least a month. And then they started ramping back up slowly. I don't think anybody's up to full capacity yet. Our billing is better than it was last year at this time. So changing these meters out is, and for those in the public who might be watching this, when those meters get replaced, that is going to generate, that is generating more revenue, because we're now accounting for our water better. That's, it's gonna cost a bit to modernize, but the modernization is going to
Oh, yeah.
kind of offset itself, with getting Station 1 back online and the potential for being able to increase what we yield out of those pumps, those stations. We may increase some more capacity, and then we're still looking at other new water sites as well to be able to get that sewer. I mean, we're limited by the plant down the street, the plant on the other side of the river, and there's no limit there, really. Our systems are, none of our areas are maxed out, are they?
No, just infrastructure for infiltration is the problem.
Yeah,
working on that.
we're just cutting infiltration. What they're doing now is they're preventing groundwater from coming in. Where it is getting in, we're cutting it off and keeping it out. But it's going to yield some benefits in conservation, more so. We're better accounting for what we're pumping out and what we're using.
The groundwater will reduce the gallonage going in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That'll be a savings in itself, won't
But yeah.
Also, Bill, on that subject, last year we spent a ton of time on 2 or 3 potential developments in town. It would have been a great source of income because we have fees like for extending water mains or sewer mains and tie-ins. And if you talk to George and Jen, we have a list, we seem to, being an enterprise funds, you bill out like for fire protection or backflow prevention and stuff like that. But right now, there's really, this last year, there's no real construction around town, or no homes being built where people were.
And a couple of plans
Yeah.
floated around, but
And
nothing.
nothing, nothing materialized, and those were, sources of income. But, like I say, nothing materialized.
You've got the plant, the grow facility that is still online. They're still moving along, and they're, the mill, that's kind of stalled, but the mill development, that will bring more customers, more usage. That's all within the system.
Well, there was that plot of land too, up by the church.
Yeah, and Jesse Road, that was another
Yeah,
development.
both of those
But nothing's happened there.
both of those developments are for sale right now.
Yeah.
They just saw
The plans are for sale.
the sale signs up.
I think the construction costs and the site work and the development is so expensive to actually go through engineering, to build a road, put in homes, and yet market those homes at a price where you can get a profit and a return on it. It's kind of like cost prohibitive. That's the way I'm looking at it.
And new developments have
Yeah.
to put the
Oh.
infrastructure in there, right?
Wide roads, sidewalks,
Roads,
underground
yeah.
utilities.
Piping.
Yeah, yeah. Big expenses
Yeah.
with no return. About the size of it.
It's hard to get somebody to buy and pay for what's underground.
Yeah.
If you see it, they don't pay for it.
So that's like kind of where, like I said, we spent a tremendous amount of time last year on these projects with engineers and everything, and never materialized.
And thank God it didn't, because if they did right now, we'd have, we're having our issues right now. So this is a big thing for us, that not to have to,
Trying to breathe.
time to breathe and get this, we've been like I said at the meeting, the Economic Development Committee has been always really upset with the way the infrastructure's been in our water and sewer, because they wanted to see about new business and
Yeah.
subdivisions, whatever, but it's a matter of fixing things up right now first. I mean, things happen, they happen, now you gotta take it, you gotta fix it, you gotta adapt to what the state wants you to do. That's what we're trying to do now, and get us back to where, okay, yeah, you can put that subdivision there, you can do that over there. We're good for now. Then as we go further on, then we start looking for a fourth source, so that we can even augment even then, get back to where we really should be. We're not quite where we really should be, even when we get these projects done, but we're gonna be able to survive and take on some more stuff. But we gotta be careful, because I have to still maintain a certain amount of ability to fill tanks, to do, supply water, have a certain amount that DP wants us to have. So we're working on that, but that's a little bit down the line. It's one step at a time. So,
I
I
did,
understood that right off the bat when I was reading all the things that, you guys have been doing a great job of catching up
it's,
and now following through on what's gotta be done to meet the new mandates and the new regulations, and so.
when I first started 27 years ago here, I didn't know it, but we were pumping 1 million gallons of water a day with 3 pumping stations. But the problem was, that was because of all the leaks we had in town. So we were digging almost every day of the week, trying to, you dig 1 leak, you get 3 more. Dig,
When I moved into town, you were on a moratorium.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the first thing I ever got involved in was, Paul Rock was the guy, I think was the chair of the water commission. But he wouldn't,
a while ago.
he wouldn't give water to the dog pond. Because he firmly believed that because there was a moratorium about commercial development, he couldn't allow a town building to have water, because that would violate his agreement with development. And we had to go, my wife and I stayed down at the parking shop and we got signatures. We went and saw Anthony DiDonato and the town council said, this is stupid. I think it was the word asinine or something.
That's up to you.
But it was. I mean, this was a public building, right aside of a public building that
Yeah,
had
yeah.
water. You were talking about running a water pipe, what, 20 yards? And finally,
Yeah.
the town council got involved in it and said, hey, this is stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, and no, and there is one other thing. Since COVID and the financial situation with the town came to be, there were some furloughs and then there were some layoffs. And in that, our administrative assistant has picked up some workload from building, Board of Health, zoning, and conservation. I've instructed her to keep a good accounting of her time, what she's spending there. And I just want to be sure everybody's aware that that this has on a temporary basis. This has been going on now for about 2 months, and yeah, that we'll have to address that in the very near future. And also, as a side note to that, the Board of Selectmen, Town Administrator had hired someone to do a pay scale study, townwide pay scale study, and it came to my attention that person, while he was interviewing folks around the town hall, made a comment to the effect that she was overvaluing herself as an employee of the town. I just want you folks to know that she was nothing more than a clerk. I just wanted to say publicly and on camera that that is not true, as far as I'm concerned. That's not acceptable.
It's insulting.
It's insulting for a contractor of the town of Dudley to come in and say that to any employee at any time. I think it's grossly inappropriate, and I do hope to address that with the town administrator and or the Board of Selectmen in the very near future.
Scott?
Just so folks are aware of that just, I heard about that on Monday, and it's been spinning in my head for a couple of days now, and just, to me, it's just not acceptable.
I heard it too. I wasn't very happy, and I want to talk to this individual about the comments he's making about that, because he doesn't know what he's talking about. I got to tell you this, that phone is ringing nonstop. The orders that go out, whether it be water meters, whether it be customer complaints, customer service, planning, online with the DEP, reports. A lot of reports are going out even as we go along with all these projects and these communications, emails. I don't know how she keeps up with it, okay? If somebody thinks they can do a better job, come right on in and try, because I can tell you right now, my head spins just having her pick up that phone every 2 minutes. And now with the added workloads of all the other departments, it's even worse. Well, it's even to the point I've told her to kind of simmer down and just take a break, go out and take off for a little bit and relax. It's very nerve-wracking. To have a comment made like that isn't called for. And someday I'll get down to the bottom of it, why it was said like that, or addressed, and we'll address it. Thanks.
Okay, I just wanted the board to know about it, and I wanted to come out publicly and say that it's just not acceptable for a contractor of the town of Dudley to come in here and say that to any employee. Just so folks are aware. We can talk more about it. Anything else? Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
motion's been made.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Adjourned at